speaking of 3 potential championships in one day, the next race is the 1600. Last year's state champion, Addison Wiley of Huntington North. She also won in 2019. She's never lost at the state championship in this event. In fact, I'm not sure she's ever lost a 1600 other than finishing second to Zoe Duffus last year at the Flashes Showcase in mid-April.
Which was a full mile.
That was a full mile, so you're right. In the 1600, she may be undefeated within the state of Indiana. Wiley has the best time this season, 4:37.98. She ran that at her regional last year. She is attempting an unprecedented, we're calling it the 3-ring circus. She's going to run in the 1600, the 800, and the 3200 tonight. She won all 3 of those distances at her sectional and regional. She will certainly be pushed much harder today in those races, including in this race by Nikki Sutherland from Delta, who just last weekend, Josh, ran 4:43 in the running lane championship in Alabama, an equivalent 4:43 for the 1600. Both of them then have run under the state meet record over 1600. Sutherland was third in this event last year. Corinna James, who was the cross-country state champion in 2020, was 6th last year in this, and Jacqueline Brasil from Evansville Memorial was 8th. 5 of last year's top 9 were seniors. 10 girls have run under 5 minutes this season, but they're not all going to be in this race.
Yeah, and for Addie Wiley, you mentioned the 3-ring circus. This is a really key race of how it's going to go out, how she's going to be pushed by Nikki Sutherland and potentially others, and how much energy can she or will she have to use to get the win.
Wiley appears to be in a light blue top. She has blonde hair, and her shorts are black. And she's taken to the front right away. I guess there's 27 athletes in this. You don't want to be in the middle of that. You kind of want to get off and get a clear path if you can. So Wiley leading early. Sutherland from Delta figures to be in the mix. Delta's colors are navy and yellow. We'll see what color jersey she has as she comes around. Sutherland led last year through the first couple laps. I'm a little surprised to see Wiley charge out to the front this early. Are you?
Well, she had even talked about in the interview the other day about she's not afraid to get out to the front, but because if no one's going to take it, then she needs to take it just to make sure that it is fast enough, eliminate any potential. No one's going to outkick her, but just eliminate, like you said, getting out in front, making sure there's no traffic.
Not irresponsible, but she's through 1 lap in 69 seconds. It looks like Jamie Clavon of Carmel is in second. Sutherland is in there in the mix, but it
looks like Sutherland is in 4th right now.
Yes, and moving up, she's passing Clavon. Sutherland has now moved up into second.
And that's Farley right behind her.
Those are our top 3, we would imagine.
Coming in, those are the 3 I would have picked to be the top 3.
Farley's attempting a 1600 800 double. Sutherland is attempting a 1600 3200 double. Corinna James is attempting a 1600 3200 double. She scored in both those last year. James was 6th in the 1600 and 4th in the 3200. I'm just a little surprised by the early pace, and maybe Wiley is just in such good shape that coming through the first 800 and 222 is not all that strenuous. We'll see if Sutherland can try and catch up. 222, Sutherland back another 2 seconds. Farley in 3rd. Those two have separated themselves from the field. Jaden Sorincione from Floyd Central has run under 5 minutes. You can kind of see her in a green top, pink socks, pretty high up. Bridget Gallagher from Guerin is up there. She's in a white top, higher purple socks.
And Veronica Hargrave of Plainfield is also in that chase pack right there. So you're looking at the medals. You have those first three, but then there's a big pack of 6, 7, or 8 girls fighting for those last 6 spots.
It's really starting to string out, and Sutherland seems as if she's biding her time behind Wiley. She's not out of contact.
Keep contact. That's always the goal in distance race, if you can keep contact.
I'd like to have a bit more contact when it comes to chasing the best runner in the history of Indiana over this distance. Wiley, Sutherland, Farley, a big gap then to the rest of the field. And we'll see the runners as they come through here. Cerencione is pulled into 4th. Hargrave from Plainfield in 5th. Gallagher in 6th. 1 lap to go. Looks like 5 minutes is going to be around that time for the medal, and Wiley's just pulling ahead.
Yeah, the gap has extended just in the last 100, 150 meters. They're both going to go. I mean, Wiley doesn't want to put it to chance, but I'm sure she can hear the footsteps behind her if they're coming, and then the gap from second to third is even bigger.
Addison Wiley is attempting an unprecedented triple. No one has scored in all 3 events, the 1600, the 800, and the 3200. Looks like she's on her way to her 3rd state championship over 1,600 meters. Nikki Sutherland of Delta, who will be, we imagine, her main competition in the 3,200 later on.
These girls will be seeing a lot of each other in this meet.
And you're going to see a lot of Addison Wiley tonight. 3 state championships, undefeated in this distance at the state finals. And her time, 4:38, a casual 4:38 for Addie, well under the state meet record. Nikki Sutherland right at the old record of 4:43 held by Waverly Neer. Gretchen Farley is going to finish 4th. Cerencione 5th. Gallagher 6th. And they're streaming in here. We'll get those to you as they finish. 65 flat last lap for Addison Wiley. Corinna James of Lowell in 6th. Hargrave of Plainfield 7th. Rastrelli, I believe they sat her from the 4x8, and that turned out well. 5 flat for Joey Rastrelli. And Jacqueline Brazil grabs another medal. 8th last year, 9th again this year. Just an athlete that really runs well at the state meet. Drops a lot of time from Evansville Memorial. Those are your top 9. 4:38.